So this question is from Crystal Bailey. Hey Jess, I'm a big fan of your videos and I've been really inspired to start making my own about my daily life with my brother who is severely autistic. I was wondering, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to, do you ever worry about the future with Dan? Do you ever worry about Dan becoming your full responsibility one day when your parents are gone? The only reason I ask is because this is something I struggle with all the time, because I always wonder how and if I would be able to provide for my brother, or would I have to find a living facility for him. I wish I had a position that allows me to take care of him the way you do for Dan. I think it is amazing what you do for him and you are so lucky to have each other. God bless. So this kind of ties in with the video. I feel like that is one thing not many people have to go through until, say, their parents are older and then they have to do palliative care for their parents or find an old age home for their parents and do all that kind of stuff and like oversee things. Well, for people like me and others out there who have special needs siblings, this is definitely a thing that we have to think about a lot sooner, and for our siblings, because, you know, say if something were to happen to our parents or they were just to get too old and not be able to take on the full responsibility of a special needs person, I would have to step in. And you know what, to be honest, I am totally fine with doing that. I'm already very privileged with being able to work for Daniel and have a salary. Not many people get that opportunity or have that program available for them. So on that side, I'm very thankful. But, you know, to be honest, I don't worry about me having to take on the full responsibility with Daniel as my parents get older, or if they were to ever pass away. I don't know, for some reason I'm just not fearful of it because I know I can do it. Yeah, it would be hard, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here being like, oh, it'd be so easy, and like, it would definitely be hard because, I mean, I assume by then I'll have my own family, and depending on how old my kids are, maybe they're going to be in college or in their 20s and starting their families, but you never know when that time is going to come. So it definitely is going to be a very hard situation. It's going to be hard to get used to, and it's going to be stressful on me and my own life that I'm creating, but at the same time, I want to be there for my brother and do it for my parents, because for me, it's hard to think about other people looking after Daniel. We put him in a living facility when he was a teenager because my grandma was battling cancer and she unfortunately passed away, so my mom and her siblings did palliative care for her. So that was the time where my mom and dad made the decision to put Daniel in a living residence with other special needs kids so that my mom could really focus on her mother and do what she needs to do. Now during that time, obviously it was stressful. Nobody wants to lose anyone in their family, but we just weren't happy. He was in a living residence for 2 or 3 years. We tried I think 2 or 3 different homes just to see if they could get any better for Daniel, but he did not thrive in a home like that. Now there are some people with disabilities that really do thrive in a home setting like that because they need the structure and they need their certain routines. So in some cases that does work. And obviously there are some families that just cannot take on the full responsibility of having their special needs child in their home. Sometimes they do need to go to that option of putting them in a living residence just to make it easier on their family and whatever they need to do in life. And sometimes it is a very positive thing, but for Daniel it just wasn't, and our family felt like we were missing a piece of us. We weren't, I don't know, it's just the weirdest feeling. But I do want to mention, it was really nice to like decide to go out for dinner as a family and not have to pack like 3 bags and to make sure Daniel has all his stuff. It like literally takes us a half an hour to get out of the door sometimes because we can't just pick up and go. So that was one positive thing. It was nice just to be able to do things like go out for dinner without having to do all this extra work and help my parents haul everything in the car and then grab Daniel, get him ready, like, and do all that stuff. But at the end of the day, we just weren't happy as a family. We wanted him to be a part of our lives, and my parents really made a vow to themselves of saying they would rather die taking care of him than die of an aching heart and having him in a home. So I think emotionally it's harder to put somebody in a home, but physically it is hard to take care of somebody who has special needs. So I don't know. I think for me, like, I don't see myself ever putting Daniel in a home. If anything, I would hire somebody else to look after him and just oversee everything and pick my hours that I want to spend with him. But I'm just not fearful of that for whatever reason. I think it has a lot to do with my faith. I believe that whatever happens, I'll be able to endure and conquer, even though there will be weak moments, I'm sure, because I'll be a wreck. And it will be so stressful. But I just really want to do what's best for my brother, and so when that time comes, that's what I'll do, and I'll figure it out from there. But yeah, I think that's another thing that people take for granted is when you're in a normal family and have normal siblings, you literally can just think of yourself, and it aggravates me to see people in a normal situation not make full use out of it, not motivate themselves, not like make their dreams come true, or sometimes you see where they're lazy and they just like, I don't know. It's so frustrating to me because here I am having to, one, make my own life just like everyone else, but plus I have to think of my brother all the time, and I want to be near him, so that means I have to live in a general area where my parents live. Like, there's just so many things that I have to think about that I can't just think of myself. Like, yeah, okay, I would love to go to California, maybe, I don't know. I'm just using this as an example, but like, say I would love to go to California and live there. Yeah, I could do that, but a part of me won't have that relationship that I do right now, that I have with Daniel right now. So it doesn't hold me back because, I mean, I'm not saying like, oh, I want to do all this traveling or I want to go to California and all this stuff. Like, I am perfectly happy where my parents live. But it's definitely, people with siblings with special needs have a lot more on their plate and have a lot more to think about, and their life decisions are I think harder to make sometimes, especially if you're close to your family and close to your sibling. It's just a lot harder to decide that for yourself. Like when I went to college, no problem, had not an issue. But I would literally come home on weekends and just be like, Daniel, you need to be quiet, because he was making his noises and I just wasn't used to them. And it was so irritating, so irritating. And there was times when I felt like crying because I felt like such a horrible sister, because here I am, like, going off to college, coming back home and complaining about my brother who's not even doing anything wrong. Like, he's just doing what he does. So I think that really scared me in a way, because I was like, if I decide that I want to move away or be in the city or move to another country, like, I'm not going to have that relationship. And to me, the most important thing in life is family, and I love having the relationship that I do with my brother. That's what I don't know, like, strive for, just a loving, awesome relationship, because it is literally the best thing and it makes me so happy. But yeah, so there's definitely a lot of things that you'll have to think about that not many people have to think about. So it definitely can be hard at times, but just take it day by day and really dig deep in your heart and think about what you want. But also, don't forget your sibling, because they're definitely involved in your life. And yeah, so I hope I explained everything properly and it all made sense. Thank you guys for asking those questions. I really, really appreciate it. And I really appreciate all the positive support that we've been receiving. It means so much. And I'm going to the cottage this weekend, so I'm going to bring my camera and film a really cool vlog for you guys at the cottage, and just to show you how we roll at the cottage, and maybe then I can introduce you to my parents, as I've been saying for I think the past two videos now. Yeah, like, I'll introduce you to my parents, and so many of you have been wanting to get to know my parents and meet them, but it's just been crazy busy. The background behind me is my new house, so I just moved in last week. Maybe that's something I can do, is a house tour. It might be kind of cool for you guys to see. So comment down below if you'd like to see that. I'm really grateful to be able to put out this content for you guys and to have the response that Daniel and I have been having. It just means so much. I love hearing your stories and I love your positive questions. So yeah, just know I'm always kind of like looking at them. So if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask me. And if you have questions for my parents, you can write them below and we'll make a video on that eventually. So anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna literally blabber on, so I'm just gonna end it here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch our videos and to support us and all the positivity and love that our new YouTube family has shown us. I really, really appreciate it, and so does Daniel. So stay tuned for our next video and we'll see you then. Oh, and one more thing. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like if you like it.